Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is our Tennessee State Parks, the GIS team mapping tutorials. Today, we're going to go over the signage survey that was sent out to you to collect park signs for visitors getting to the parks. This signage survey is accessed through Survey 123. You can download it in the App Store, or you can use the browser. The link that I'm going to open is the one that was provided in the email that was sent to you. Clicking on that link will bring us to a new web browser. This web browser will ask you if you want to open it in the Field app, which you can do on your smartphone or a tablet, or you can do it in the web browser. I recommend you do it in the web browser if you can. If not, you're welcome to do it on your phone. Using the web browser will make it easier to navigate through the maps. So click on Open Browser, and that will bring us to the start of the survey. This survey is similar to surveys you have done in the past. We're going to collect some geographic information and a couple of annotations, some fields, some questions about the features that you're putting down for your park. The purpose of this is we would like to collect, all in one foul swoop, park signage information. We want to collect the information for park signs that are outside of the park, how visitors get to the park. We want to know what are the navigation issues visitors experience getting to your park. We're going to split those up into three categories today. We have interstate signage, state county road wayfinding, and GPS navigation issues. For interstate signage, we're going to focus on things that happen on the interstates, how visitors navigate once they leave their major city, traveling towards your park. We want to know the signs that are located on the interstate. State and county roads are all other roads that are not interstates. They can be your small local roads, or they can be a designated state highway. GPS navigation issues are the car GPS systems or phone devices, such as Google Maps or Apple Maps, that a visitor might use. We want to know what issues visitors are having when they're trying to get to your park. Maybe it leads them to the wrong place, or maybe the location is not accurate, or it leads them in the wrong entrance. We're trying to get all our visitors to come to the park in our preferred method, traveling, following the wayfinding signs in case we might be out of cell service, and they would be able to get to the parks. So what we'll do is click through the next quick 5 pages to complete the survey. What you'll need to do is put down your name, your email address, and your park name. Doing this will allow us to really see which features are associated with the park that is in question. So today we're going to focus all our questions on Fall Creek Falls. These are made up scenarios, but ones that we thought would be helpful and a good example. So first step is our interstate signage. You will click yes if you have signage issues and no if you don't. If you don't have any interstate signage issues, you will not have to fill out the rest of these questions on this page. You can simply come on down here and click next, and that will bring you to the next page. But for all of us who do have interstate signage issues, we will click yes and dive into this little bit of a survey. So first, you want to describe the issues. Do we have signage at the best exit locations? Are they signed in both directions? Are all the near interstates covered that a visitor might take? Or maybe there's some text or icons that you would like changed on the signs. This is an opportunity to describe that issue. So for this example, I'm going to say Fall Creek Falls had a sign that was torn down with a tornado and is now missing. You want to put information about northbound, southbound, which interstate this is located on. You might be able to put down the exact exit number that you want, or maybe a mile marker where a sign was damaged. So in this case, maybe it's missing, or maybe it just needs to be repaired. In this case, we're going to say there is no sign, and we need to have one there. You can also select multiple ones. So because we're missing a sign, what we want to do is find out where we're going to place this new sign. So we'll type in Fall Creek Falls State Park. By saying State Park, it'll allow us to go right into the address they have on file. You'll notice that the base map changed. In order to change it back to something you might be more familiar with, head on over here to the map gallery. It's these 4 little icons stashed in a square. For me, I like to use the navigation map. That's basically a Google map that we might be more familiar with. So here we're going to zoom out, and I want to find Interstate I-40. I'm going to say that the missing sign is someplace located right outside of Cookville. We'll see that there's an exit to get right onto 111 here, and we are said it was on westbound. So what you might also do is go back to the map gallery and look for aerial imagery. This imagery hybrid, which is located right here, is images with also the text compared to just simple imagery. I recommend you use the imagery hybrid to fully locate where you want the sign to be placed. So if the exit is right here, right before the on-ramp and the off-ramp to get on 111, what we're going to do is click on the point where that missing sign should be. A little icon will now pop up. By doing this, you have now cemented the location of where that sign should be placed. If you need to move it, click on another location and the map will update where that location is. And you can really zoom into something quite finite and get really close to where you want that sign to be. Now that we have that, this section is complete. But what if we have another issue for Fall Creek Falls State Park? What if we had another sign that maybe was faded out and we wanted to replace that on the interstate? What we'll do is click the plus button down here. To add another location, click the plus symbol. It brings down number 2. You will see this in the top right corner. You are now doing the second issue for interstate signage. This time, we have the eastbound sign is faded. You will click Sign Needs Repair or Faded in this category. This is going to help us categorize our results so that we can focus on ones that might be easy and quick to repair and others that might require some extensive funding or wayfinding issues. So once again, we'll zoom in by Googling the park. That will bring us pretty close to Fall Creek Falls State Park. It'll be helpful for you to change that base map again to something that's more easily to use. Click on navigation. That's a good one to get you just the simple roads. And head on up to I-40 eastbound in this case. We're going to click on that base map again to look for, we want to use this imagery hybrid. This will allow us to see the text over the imagery. And here we can zoom right in really close and show that it's right before the eastbound exit. This sign has faded. Maybe the sun faded it out over time. So we want to click on it. There might even be a sign right here. And that will drop a point that we'll be able to use later. And this is really helpful because the Tennessee Department of Transportation can help with all these interstate signs by knowing exactly where they are. And this is the information they will request from us anyways. Now that we've completed everything in this section, we have the type of issue, we described the issue, and we only had 2 for Fall Creek Falls interstate issues, we can move on. So we'll come down here and click Next. So part 2 is our state and county road signage issues. This is very similar to what we did before, but with some differences. We want to think about, do the signs direct to the correct entrance of the park, or our preferred one? Sometimes it'll take us through a southern entrance or one that doesn't have our visitor center nearby. Do they direct to satellite feature areas or campgrounds? Does your park have a campground that is further off-site that could use some state road or county road signs to direct visitors there, and they don't currently have any? Should there be warnings? Perhaps there's railroad tracks that a visitor driving an RV might not be able to get over, and you might have signs already, that say warning, warning, but maybe we need to add some flashing lights or some a warning sign further back where it'll give the RV driver a chance to turn around and direct them to a more suitable entrance. Maybe you'll have an example where you can put a sign that says all car visitors this way, RVs, trucks, and trailers to the right. And this would help avoid any trouble further on. So we do have it in this case. We'd like to describe. We need a continue arrow. So visitors are coming down this road and they might think they're starting to get lost. They don't have service anymore. And we need to say Fall Creek Falls, 5 miles ahead. In this case, this is a sign that does not exist and is needed. So like we said earlier, in this case, we'll actually write the preferred text that you want to say. So think about which direction is the sign facing? Is it north, west, south, east? Should it be on the left or the right? Should it have arrows that direct people? So because we kind of described it already, I'm going to copy and paste this down here. And we're going to say on southbound of the Park Road. Which road? Park Road. This will help our signage people put the sign exactly where we want it to be. And once again, we'll search the place we're doing this work for. And remember to add state park because that is more likely to pull up the correct result. Come over to the base maps to change it over to something more workable, such as navigation. And here we are at Fall Creek Falls State Park. I'm going to zoom in and try to find the park road. I believe this is it here on 284, even though it's not saying Park Road. And we're saying that right here, maybe right before this junction, we say, this is where we want it to say Park Road, Fall Creek Falls, 5 miles further down this road, 5 miles ahead. And that'll help visitors maintain their confidence and get through. It'll also help if a GPS was to navigate down this fire tower road. We're going to say, we want to stay on this 284, our main entrance, coming in this way. So we've completed this section for the state park, for state and county road issues. If you'd like to add another section, you can click this plus button down here and you can report another issue. This could be a sign that is damaged or a place where you need a warning sign. So we'll do that for an example. We have a warning sign needed. I'm going to say warning signage. And you'll notice at the top here, it says issue 2 now. So we're working on issue 2. So in this case, we're trying to describe that they should continue on Park Road and not the Fire Tower Road. Once we have this can be a discussion between the park manager and our signage folks to figure out what exactly this text should say and how it should be placed. This is going to give us a really good idea on where to do that. Type it in here, pulls us up to Fall Creek Falls State Park. Navigation or aerial imagery you could be using. You zoom in using the plus and minus icons over here. And we want to say that I know exactly where I want to place it. I think I want to put it right at this intersection. And where exactly? For the southbound people, I want them to see it right here, right before. Of course, there might be issues with private property or the shoulder and such, but this is just a general idea to help us get the signs where we want them to be. So we'll click on that, a little blue point will show up, and we are done with that section. So now we'll move on to the last section, GPS navigation issues. So a lot of our visitors are no longer using paper maps to get to parks. Instead, they're getting on their phone or their RV GPS system, and they're saying, "Hey, take me to Fall Creek Falls State Park." So the address might be wrong in this, or the GPS might be sending them to a maintenance area, or maybe the non-preferred entrance, or maybe going down roads that are not suited for trailers or RVs. This is an effort for us to collect that data, figure out what kind of systems are causing that most often, so that maybe we can have a conversation, report a corrected update of the park address to Google, or on Waze say that there's construction going on and we don't want that visitors to be coming down that road. So on here, we're going to say Google Maps is routing RVs over dangerous train tracks. This is obviously not the preferred route. Where this issue, what we're kind of trying to find is that we're going to put down Google Maps is the one that's causing it. You could also say maybe it's the car GPS or other. Maybe you don't know what this system is. You could also say that this is a dangerous or incompatible route so that we can categorize our navigation issue types. And we're trying to figure out at what location would a new sign help solve these issues? Where could we put a sign that would prevent or tell people maybe don't follow your GPS and come in this entrance? Maybe we want you to stay ahead or turn right to get to the main park entrance that is more suitable for RVs. So once again, we'll type in Fall Creek Falls State Park. That'll bring us right on down, flip our base map over to something that's more usable, such as navigation. And with that, we'll start to zoom in to the place we want to put that. Maybe we're going to focus on the south entrance this time. Maybe visitors coming in on this road are having an issue where the RVs are heading into someplace else in the park that they shouldn't be. Actually, we're going to try, let's work on that Fire Tower Road issue again. So here we might need a sign that says, do not take RVs down this road here. So we'll place our point on this road, or some place where it gives the driver a chance to turn around before they get there. To figure out exactly where you are, go to the base map gallery again, click on this imagery hybrid. When you click on that, you'll be able to zoom in to the place by clicking the plus arrow where you think a sign would really help visitors not come down this road. Maybe it says no RVs on this road. We click on that and a point drops there. And now you've completed this section of GPS navigation issues. If you would like to add another GPS navigation issue, let's say that maybe the visitor center is the wrong address and it's taking them to the nature center again. That could be a very simple problem. But what you'll want to do is click plus. This time we're going to talk about visitor center address is incorrect. It is taking folks to the nature center. This is something that might be in Apple Maps, and we could send a request to Apple Maps to update it to say visitor center. And we could update it also to say nature center is a different address and send them the correct addresses. So this is kind of both. It arrives at the wrong address and is the wrong address. And in this case, there might not be a actual point where we need to change this. This would be an example where we don't need to put a point on a map down. This is really a request to send to Apple Maps to say we need the address to be updated for the visitor center. So once you've done that, as you'll notice, you were on issue number 2 up here, and before this was issue number 1. So you put down 2 issues for GPS navigation issues. Let's head on down to the bottom of the survey. You're all done. Click on next. That brings you to the last page. Here you might add some comments. You might say, I love using survey 123 to collect park data, which you may or may not, but hey, here's a good place to put that in. Or you might say that we need to have a discussion. We need a whole wayfinding system to help us navigate a certain satellite park. This would be a place where we could have a discussion with you and start to figure out how we're going to get science to get you to the right place. So thank you for helping Tennessee State Parks collect signage information. This is a really awesome way for you to provide this information to us in a simple manner where we can figure out exactly where we want these signs to go and which ones need to be updated. We understand that this is a large effort on your part to go in and think about all these issues, but we really appreciate your time doing this for us, and we really appreciate the information that you give. It's going to be extremely helpful for our planning efforts, and it's going to make our visitors a lot happier when they arrive. Half the experience is getting to the park and setting their expectations of what they will experience. So it's going to be awesome for them to have a good experience getting there to kick off their Tennessee State Parks Day. Thank you very much. Park signage survey has been submitted. If you need my contact information, you can reach me by the email here or my cell phone number. And please leave a message if you do call with a number that I can call you back on, and I'll be happy to walk you through this. We're also going to have WebEx and Teams meetings. So if you'd like to do a walkthrough of this tutorial again, we can go through and talk about everything that was used for this survey and how to get through certain tricky situations that might arise. So please feel free to email me or call me at the number below, and I would love to walk you through this project. Thank you again for your help,